An improvised campsite in Romania's capital, Bucharest. Its luckless inhabitants drawn from all the far-flung corners of China. They are stragglers on the jagged edge of Europe's open labour market. The Chinese workers were recruited by construction companies last winter. Then they were abandoned. In protest, they have put down stakes in a privileged neighbourhood.
We came to Romania to work, but then after a while they just stopped paying us. We hadn't been given work permits, so we went on strike and came to ask help from the Chinese embassy. We'd paid a lot to middlemen in China, tens of thousands of yuan, to be able to come and work here. We went deep into debt for that in China. And now we can't pay that back because we haven't earned anything here.
These Chinese still hope to get the money they are due, but they are all too painfully aware that their visas are past expiry. Their expulsion is only days away. They are chaff, the unfortunate expendables in a system of recruitment that is highly organized in Romania. Crisis aside, construction has continued here, kept thriving by both national and multinational companies. A mall is set to mushroom in Bucharest, most of it Chinese-built. They can earn 700 to 900 euros per month, they say, 3 times as much as they would in China. Liviu Mendler is president of Romania's Construction Company Federation. He lays responsibility for any ill-placed payments squarely with the victims. He's proud to show how foreign workers are welcomed. He says they are indispensable, coming from China, Thailand, Sri Lanka, given the demand for qualified manpower in his country.
The construction sector is currently short of 27,000 employees. Other sectors are more than 12,000 short. I haven't found qualified workers in European community countries. They're either too expensive or they didn't want to come to Romania to work. In other EU countries, their salaries are 1,500 or 1,600 euros per month net. In Romania, that means 2,700 or 2,800 gross. With the overheads we pay in Romania, no company can afford those workers. They'd immediately go bankrupt.
Some 2.5 million Romanians left their country to work in Western Europe in the space of 15 years. The money they sent home accounted for around 5% of the national income, but the exodus so drained the country of qualified labour that the government launched a programme to lure them back. With 8% growth early in 2008, Romania saw tens of thousands of its nationals return home. This year, only a few hundred have trickled back, with growth prospects halved, and the country on hold for massive support from the IMF. But Alina Mihai isn't fazed. She left to study dentistry in Spain and has now worked there for years. She says it's like a permanent vacation. Yet a few months ago, she chose to come back to Romania to settle and raise her 5-year-old son.
People always see other countries like a kind of mirage, where everything is possible. But in reality, it's not at all like that. I arrived in Spain in 1997, and at the time I loved it. The atmosphere, the people, everything. It was something else. But in our country, things have started to change bit by bit. A lot has evolved over time. The difference is not as great between the two countries as it was in 1997.
Alina was recently headhunted to go and work in England. This sort of recruitment happens a lot with health sector professionals in Eastern Europe.
No, I said no. The difference here is that I have my own practice. I'm my own boss, where there I would be an employee. It's better here. I don't say that we live very well or that doctors are well paid or earn as much as they should. No, I'm not saying that. It could be a lot better. But I believe that there will come a time when we reach the same pay level as doctors elsewhere. In the meantime, we are staying here.
Romanian MP William Branță crisscrosses the EU in the service of his countrymen abroad. He says many are feeling the economic turmoil but are reluctant to come home. At the end of last year, Romania counted 450,000 unemployed. In just a few months, it's gone up by 40,000.
The number of Romanians who come back to the country is still very limited. They're hesitating. What with the crisis, they aren't sure that they'll find a job here. They can see perfectly well in the media that, like everywhere else in Europe, there's a lot of unemployment. If we ask Romanians to return, there has to be something to offer them. Clearly, which is to say, a job, the chance to buy a house, assure them that their children can go to a good school, and that they'll be able to master the Romanian language.
With high hopes for all of this, Didi came back a few months ago, also from Spain, where more than 1 million Romanians live. Didi got a work permit in 2005, which was valid for 8 years. On 3 occasions after that, he tried to find work in Romania, but his hopes were dashed each time.
I went back to Spain last summer. I tried to start a distribution network for food products from Romania for expatriates. But because of the crisis, sales never got off the ground. A lot of Romanians came back here, and I gave it up. I came back too. I've seen a lot of things in Spain that we could do here as well. I've got a plan to set up a company in the environmental sector, but I'm still thinking about it.
Unemployed for 7 months, Didi has not managed to raise the capital for his project. With a comfortable apartment and a car, the family lives well. His wife earns a respectable salary. In spite of Spain's attractions, Didi isn't sure he'd leave Romania again.
I don't know. People there have also started to lose their jobs. Something holds me back. To leave while there's a crisis on, that and being a foreigner in another country, taking a job from someone else over there. You have to show some respect.
Global economic shockwaves are making people think twice about moving around. Europe's single market has taken a blow, and perhaps also the idea of being a European citizen.